So thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to my party as well as the Honorable Speaker for giving me an opportunity to take part in this historical discussion. Sir, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chairman of the drafting committee, was a prime believer in social justice and therefore believed that the interest of all sections of the society were to be protected through the Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said, however, I quote, "However good a constitution may be, if those who are implementing it are not good, it will prove bad." Sir, we are taking part in this historical discussion not just because we are celebrating 75 years of the Constitution, but also we truly understand the fact that Constitution is in danger. Our Samvidhan khatre mein hai. That is the sole reason. Like Dr. Ambedkar said, we have to be very cautious when we are completing 75 years of a Constitution. Sir, the Indian National Congress has always been committed to the idea of the Constitution. It must be noted that the Purna Swaraj was passed in 1929 during the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress, which was presided over by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who paved the way and laid the foundation of the Constitution. Sir, in June 1934, the Indian National Congress for the first time and formally and officially demanded an Indian Constituent Assembly for framing the Constitution of India. Accordingly, the movement towards framing the Constitution of independent India was conceptualized and initiated by the Congress Party. Sir, it was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru who invited Dr. Ambedkar as a law minister. And after 2 weeks, when he became the law minister, he was requested to be the chairman of the drafting committee, sir. Sir, he had differences of opinion. Dr. Ambedkar had differences of opinion with the Congress, but he very clearly said that in spite of the differences, there has been multiple oppositions, debates in the Constituent Assembly over 2.5 years. Many things were voted in for, against, where Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Nehru, both were on different sides. Dr. Ambedkar were on different sides. But sir, that is the beauty of the Constitution of India. That is the grace of the Constitution of India, I would like to say. Sir, where was RSS and BJP at this time, sir? Yes. Sir, while RSS had no contribution in the constitution making exercise, it has always been a major critic of the ideas opposed by Dr. Ambedkar. The RSS always advocate for the enactment of Manusmriti in India so that the caste and the class-based difference can continue to exist in India. Sir, the official mouthpiece of the RSS, the organizer, I quote, on November 30th, 1949, 3 days of the Constitution being adopted, the RSS mouthpiece organizer came out with the editorial which said, "The worst thing about the new Constitution of Bharat is that there is no Bharatiya about it. There is no trace of ancient Bharatiya constitution laws, institutions, nomenclatures, phraseologies in it. Manu's laws were written before the Lycurgus of Sparta, of Solon of Persia. To this days, laws as communicated in Manusmriti excite the administration of the world and elicit spontaneous obedience and conformity, but our constitutional pundits, that means nothing." Sir, this is quoted in organizer, sir. Sir, this is the official version of the RSS and Sangha Parivar in India. Sir, in the book Bunch of Thoughts, RSS second chief M.S. Goldwalker elaborated on what they call the Constitution. I quote, "Our Constitution too is just a cumbersome and heterogeneous piecing together of various articles from the Constitution of Western countries. It has absolutely nothing which can be called on our own. Is there a single word of reference in guiding principle as to the national mission and whatever keynote of life is? Some lame principle from the United Nations Charter and Charter of the non-defunct League of Nations and some features from the American and British constitutions have been brought together in a mere hodgepodge In other words, there is no reflection of Indian percepts and political philosophy of the Indian Constitution. Sir, this is the official version of the RSS, which has come out long back when the Constitution was framed in the official mouthpiece of the RSS, sir. Who can deny this, sir?
Kindly
sir,
conclude,
many
please.
people have...
Kindly conclude. Yeah.
Sir, sir? Sir, I've just started, sir.
What is this conclusion?
Sir, the beauty of our Constitution is, sir, like Rajnath Singh ji said, there were 15 women in the Constituent Assembly. Sir, 3 women were from Kerala, sir. Sir, Ammu Swaminathan, Annie Maskreen, Dakshayani Velayathan. Sir, Dakshayani Velayathan hails from a constituency in a very small village in an island called Mulavugad. And she was the first graduate in the country from the Dalit community. And we are proud to say that somebody like Dakshayani Velayathan, when they are in the Constituent Assembly, on the other hand, in 2020, we have Hathras, sir, in Republic India. We have Hathras, where a Dalit woman was killed, raped and burned, sir. This is the new India, sir. This is the new India of the BJP Sarkar. Sir, in the last session, in the 17th Lok Sabha, in the 126th amendment, sir, in the 126th constitutional amendment, there have been many constitutional amendments according to times, according to the change in the society. The constitution need to be amended according to times, technology, etc. But sir, the 126th amendment was for extending the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe reservation. Sir, when these people, BJP, come to Kerala, they say to the Christian minority community that we are with you. Sir, we had 2 members of parliament in this August House, 2 Anglo-Indian members. Sir, like I said, like these women, there was one priest whose name is Father Jerome D'Souza. He was from the Anglo-Indian community, sir. That Anglo-Indian community reservation to 10 assemblies, 10 MLAs and 2 members of parliament has been scrapped by this BJP. I am asking the Honorable Prime Minister, will he bring back the Anglo-Indian reservation, Anglo-Indian MPs to this parliament, back to this parliament, sir. I urge... Sir, मेरा मौका है, sir.
Please sit down.
Sir, frame गया था, sir. एक और बार बोलना है, sir. Sir, I urge the government of India, whether they will bring back the Anglo-Indian reservation, who fought the freedom struggle, who were part of the Constituent Assembly, who are microscopic minority who can win an election. They were given the reservation in the Indian Parliament, sir, which was scrapped, sir. Sir, I am concluding. Sir, the Prime Minister of this country has time for Kapoor, but no time for Manipur, sir. Sir, क्या है, sir, ये? This country, double engine सरकार चल रहा है, sir. Manipur में भी BJP, central government में भी BJP.
माननीय श्री E.T. मोहम्मद बशीर,
hundreds of people have lost their lives, sir. Sir, hundreds of people have lost their lives. Nothing has been taken care of.
माननीय E.T.
From the first amendment, sir, I am concluding. Sir, from the first amendment.
Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Give the mic.
Yes. Sir, the first amendment was by Dr. Ambedkar for the special provisions of the SC/ST. The 46th amendment was to include socialism and secularism by Srimati Indira Gandhi to the constitution. Secular fabric of this country has to be protected, sir. It is included in the preamble. Sir, constitutional amendments were for Manrega, NRHM, recognition of forest right to education, right to compensation of land acquisition, LARA Act, right to street vendors act, and it goes on, sir. Sir, this is
माननीय श्री E.T. मोहम्मद बशीर जी. Yes, yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
I'll conclude with the court. Conclude with the court, sir.
Please go ahead, sir. Please go
My
ahead.
time kindly be compensated, sir. My time is missing. My time kindly be compensated.
I will give you time,
That's
sir.
all. I cannot speak now. Let him complete.
Yes, sir. Please be seated, sir.
Conclude, sir. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Please be seated. Please be seated.
Sir, I am concluding with the quote
1 second.
of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, sir. We shall face all other disagreeable things and face in the present or may do in the future. And we shall not flinch, and we shall not flatter, and we shall not quit, sir. This is the Constitution of India, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Please go ahead, sir.
sir.
Yes,
Thank you very much, sir, giving me this opportunity to participate in the historic session. Sir, I also begin with the words of Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar stood for morality in the politics. My learned friend, Mr. Hebiran, just quoted a part of it. I would like to complete it. Sir, Dr. Ambedkar said, I quote, I feel, however, a good constitution may be, it is sure to turn out bad because who are called to work, it happened to be a bad lot. Sir, he continued, however bad a constitution may be, it may turn out to be good if those who are called to work it happen to be good. It's so nice, sir. It's having far-sightedness. Now, sir, what exactly is the beauty of Indian Constitution? Sir, Abul Kalam Azad, he had a dream. What exactly is? I would like to quote, India is a cultural unity amidst diversity. It is like a bouquet of flowers with various colors, and each add to the beauty of the whole. The far-sightedness we can very well understand. Sir, now what exactly is happening? I don't know what to do. There are two arms of Indian Constitution that are secularism and inclusiveness. If we do a threadbare analysis of Indian Constitution on justice, it depends upon liberty, equality, and fraternity. We are now very sad to say that things are going in the opposite direction. This country is totally worried about that, sir. So what we can discuss is constitutional right. Constitutional right to the minorities. So Article 14, Article 25, Article 29(1), Article 29(2), Article 30, and Article 347, all these clauses are pertaining with the right of the minority in the Constitution. Sir, what is happening? All these rights are curtailed. Things are going in an opposite direction. I would like to say that our forefathers had a dream. This government is spoiling the entire thing, sir. Sir, if anybody asks, what exactly is the saddest day as far as the secular India is concerned, we can say only one thing, sir. That is December 6, 1992, on which demolition of Babri Masjid took place. Sir, Babri Masjid was demolished under the leadership of right-wing forces. Sir, let me just. Sir, on that day, on that day, on that day, what happened? Those who demolished that Babri Masjid, they shouted a slogan. What exactly is that? Ye to keval jangi hai, Kashi madra baki hai. So those demolished Babri Masjid is traveling through the same path. We have to realize, sir. Archaeological survey now, they are playing another trick. What they are saying, they have listed 172 places like that, worship places. They are also going in that direction. They are also creating that kind of confusion in this system, sir. It is, we can very well understand. Government, if government is having a determination, things will not go in that direction. At the same time, government is also really spoiling the things. This 1991 Act, Worship Act, we all know that. Allahabad High Court gave a direction judgment. It went for appeal. Sir, when it went for appeal, that order was nullified. And they have given a clear direction. I would like to say, sir, it is like a silver line in the clouds. We can be proud of the judgment. That is one thing I want to say, sir. All those who are going to this kind of survey and things like that, and not only, sir, the survey people, when they went to mosque, that Chambal mosque, they were also shouting the slogan, what? Hey, Sri Ram. So shouting the slogan, defender, sir. So that is the... Then 5 people were dead, shooted. For what, sir? Innocent people. They encroached the mosque, shouting the slogans. Again, these poor devotees there, they were put to this kind of harassment. So that is, sir, beside all these things, we can very well understand something more, sir. What is the, it's not hooliganism by section. Government itself is engineering in this kind of thing, sir. What is this? Sir, I am asking a simple question. If fence itself is spoiling the crop, who will say this country, sir? Fence is for protection. If fence itself is eating protection, who will save this country, sir? May God save this country, sir. Things are going on in a different way. I want to say, mob lynching, it has become a regular phenomenon, sir. Bulldozing the houses and shops of the minorities, that also is there, sir. Hate speeches are spreading in the country, sir. Making as a communal color, new law registrations are made, sir. In different states, this kind of things are going on, sir. Social and economical marginalization of the minorities, that also happening in this, sir. Sir, we have to realize,
Sir, kindly
if we are
conclude,
not
sir.
making an end to this kind of thing,
Kindly conclude,
this country will be, yeah, no, sir, some more, just 2, 3, I know, sir, there was some time in that. Sir, minorities, we have to realize, you should not ignore it. Sir, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Ji, I quote them also, sir. Mahatma Ji said, what is that? A civilization. Gandhiji said, a civilization can be judged by way of it treats the minorities. How you are treating the minorities, that is the criteria for the judging a country's prestige. Similarly, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said, the real test of democracy is the ability of even the weakest minority feel secure and confident. All these things. So, Gandhiji had a dream, but Jawaharlal Nehru had a dream. Unfortunately, this different direction. Sir, this credibility, independency, or a court is a marvelous thing. If that is wounded, we can very well know the consequences which is going to that. So towards the end, that 2 more things. One is with regard to Manipur. Manipur is still burning, sir. Prime Minister has said to my friend, Prime Minister has not gone there. He has traveled throughout the world, but he is not going to find out the reality there, sir. That is the thing. Sir, we talk about the inclusiveness. One more thing, sir. Inclusiveness for what, sir? In our society, the most neglected section is physically handicapped. I know, handicapped, it is the differently able. They are not getting justice, sir. They are still paralyzed.
Thank you.
I happily appeal the government to take very serious steps for the welfare.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Please go ahead, madam. Madam, please go ahead. Thank you, sir.
Sir, at the onset, I would like to thank you for having given me the opportunity to take part in this historical discussion on the 75 years journey of our Indian Constitution, sir. I deem it a great honor and privilege to be partaking in this discussion today. And it would be our bounden duty to be paying our respects to the framers of our Constitution. One of the tallest statesmen of our country, Dr. Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar ji, who had actually chaired the drafting committee, and also the 389 members of the Constituent Assembly who had contributed to the framing of our Constitution. And besides them, sir, also Shri B.N. Rao ji, who was the Constitutional Advisor at that point of a time, and Shri S.N. Mukherjee, who was the Chief Draftsman of our Constitution too, sir. Sir, it is pertinent here to draw the attention of the respected House to the observations made by Professor Tom Ginsburg, who was a professor at the University of Chicago. And he had studied very closely and analyzed 200 constitutions across the world that were adopted after 1798. And he had categorically mentioned that the relevance of these constitutions were for a period of 17 years. And when we look around our country and take into consideration the countries around our own, we will realize that Sri Lanka had replaced its constitution thrice, Pakistan had replaced it 6 times, and Nepal had replaced it 5 times, sir. But we have a great constitution which had withstood the time and had completed 75 years, sir. And therefore, on behalf of the 140 crore Indians, I would like to thank the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for having declared November 26th as the Constitutional Day, which is but a befitting tribute to the framers of our Constitution. Sir, ours is recognized to be the second oldest Constitution and also perceived to be one of the longest detailed documents, sir, which also encompasses the pluralistic values of our country. Sir, we need to realize here that this is simply not a legal document, but it seeks to provide, it's a moral guide which seeks to provide equal rights and opportunities to all the citizens of our country. Sir, the outstanding feature of our Constitution is the balance that it displays between adaptability and rigidity, sir. I say adaptability because it had withstood 106 amendments, it had subsumed 106 amendments, sir. And I would say rigidity because it has not it has not compromised with the core values at all. Sir, I would here like to quote the words of Baba Saheb Ambedkar when he said, "The Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document, and its spirit is always the spirit of the age." This reflects the strength of our Constitution, sir. Sir, the appreciable aspect of our Constitution too is that it simply does not seek to right the wrong that was done to many sections of our society, but it also seeks to address the challenges of an evolving modern society. Sir, many of the Western democracies have shirked away or rather shied away from giving the women in their country equal rights right until the 1960s. But sir, it was our Constitution that gave the women of our country equal rights, even as equal voting rights, even as early as 1949. And sir, this might have been a revolutionary decision at that point of a time. Sir, it simply not gives the women equal voting right, but it also ensures equality to the women and protects them from discrimination, which is reflected in the various articles of our Constitution. For example, Article 14 ensures equality before law and equal protection of laws. Article 15 prohibits discrimination by any state on gender basis. Article 16 ensures equality of opportunity in employment. Article 39D ensures equal pay for equal work. Article 42 directs the states to provide humane working conditions, maternity relief, and there are many more articles, sir. The reason why I am quoting these articles here today is that these various articles have been made possible and have found their way into the Constitution of India because of the great work done by 15 wonderful, great and brave women of the Constituent Assembly. Sir, I would like to quote some of them and also remind the House the work that they have done, sir. Sir, Srimati Sarojini Naidu was one of them, and she promoted the importance of national identity symbolized in the national flag. Sir, Begum Qudsiya Ejaz Rasulji, who strongly opposed communal reservations, sir, but she advocated minority education. Srimati Ammu Swaminathan, which one of the colleagues had just mentioned, who was fondly called Ammukutti, who spoke on the economic issues and the problems of women workers. Hansa Jivaraj Mehta, who advocated fundamental rights and rights for women too. Here, sir, I would like to quote I would like to quote Hansa Jivaraj Mehta ji on two important issues, her interventions on two important issues. One was on the Parda system and the second was on the Uniform Civil Code. Sir, on the Parda system, she said, and I quote, "It is an inhuman custom which still exists in parts of India. Unfortunately, we were told that raising this question will hurt the religious susceptibilities of some people. As far as the Hindu religion is concerned, it does not enjoin parda. Islam does. But I feel that Islam will be better rid of this evil. Any evil practiced in the name of religion cannot be guaranteed in the Constitution. This is what she observed about the parda system. Sir, on the Uniform Common Civil Code, she said, and I quote, "The other item to which I wish to draw the attention of the House is the Common Civil Code. To my mind, this is much more important than even the national language. We have too many personal laws in this country, and these personal laws are dividing the nation today. It is therefore very essential, if we want to build up one nation, to have one civil code. It must, however, be remembered that the civil code that we wish to have must be on par with or in advance of the most progressive of the personal laws in the country. Otherwise, it would be a retrograde step and it will not be acceptable to all." Sir, Srimati Vijayalakshmi Panditji, who emphasized India's role in protecting global peace. We had Rajkumari Amrit Kaurji, who supported extensively the women political participation. Srimati Sucheta Kribalani, who emphasized the need for ensuring political rights for women. Srimati Renuka Ray, who intervened on women rights issues. Srimati Leela Roy, who was deeply committed to gender equality. Srimati Purnima Banerjee, who vehemently argued that power should lie with the people. Srimati Annie Mascarene, who strongly argued for democratic reforms, considering that to be vital for a strong India. Srimati Dakshayani Velayudan, the only Dalit woman, as was mentioned earlier, sir, the only Dalit woman in the Constituent Assembly, who fought vociferously for doing away with the untouchability and also equal opportunities to all. Srimati Kamala Chaudhary, who was committed to rural development. Srimati Durgabai Deshmukh, whom we all know, she was instrumental in setting up family courts in the country. And Srimati Malti Chaudhary, who advocated land reforms, social justice, and rural welfare policies to the women in rural India. So these remarkable women have left an indelible mark on the Constitution of India. And it is living up to this spirit of the Constitution, sir, and being inspired by the work done by, as somebody had mentioned earlier, the mothers of the Constitution. Shri Narendra Modi ji has defined a new India's growth story, wherein it is no longer women development, but rather women-led development, sir. Today, women in our country would no longer be passive recipients of the benefits of certain schemes, but rather to promote women-led development, sir, our focus should be on nutrition, health, and education, which is exactly what the Narendra Modi ji-led government is doing today. So the direct benefit transfer scheme under the Matrutva Vandana Matrutva Surakshit Yojana has today resulted in healthy mothers giving birth to healthy children and thereby a healthy nation. Access to sanitation, sir, has improved the health of the women in the country. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana and Beti Bachao Beti Padhao have actually facilitated girl-child education. Financial inclusion for women today, sir, in the country has been facilitated through the Jan Dhan Yojana. The maternal benefit bill, which has sought to extend the paid maternity leave for women from 12 weeks to 26 weeks, has ensured that the children of our country do get the mother's care. And the Namo drone Didi has empowered our women farmers in rural India. And the microfinance that we are actually facilitating for the women in our country has converted them into entrepreneurs under the Stand Up India scheme, sir. Sir, here I would be failing if I do not mention the Nari Shakti Adhiniyam, which provides for 33% reservation for women in Parliament as well as in the Assembly. Sir, this is simply not a facilitation of women coming forward, but we must understand and realize that this actually gives an opportunity to an entire dormant talent pool to come forward and take on the leadership role, in our country. And these interventions by the Narendra Modi-led government has metamorphosized women to become leaders and and key contributors to India's growing story, sir. So this only reflects the fact that our constitution continues to shape the Indian governance as well, as it has been enshrined in the constitution. And Article 38 reads, sir, the state is required to promote the welfare of the people by ensuring a social order that is just, social, economic, and political. However, sir, the evolution of our constitution has not been without challenges. And this would also mean the challenges that the framers of a constitution had faced, even when they had to ensure the security and welfare of the millions of people who were displaced during the partition. But yet, sir, amidst all the violence and the uncertainty of the day, the framers of our constitution had met meticulously and religiously, and they have successfully given us a constitution to a country of exceptional diversity. Sir, here Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji was a little apprehensive about the success of our constitution when he said, and I quote, "Indeed, if I may say so, if things go wrong under the new constitution, the reason will not be that we had a bad constitution. What we will have to say is that man was vile." And sir, his words have come true. Our constitution has been amended 106 times since 1950, sir. And even as tall leaders have accepted various responsibilities when the constitution was being framed. Like, for example, late Shri Babu Rajendra Prasad ji, he had kept the records. Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji, he had chaired the drafting committee. The Iron Man of our country, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he took it upon himself to actually bring a consensus among the minorities and the other communities in our country. At this juncture, sir, it is very important to recall the observations of Shri Jawaharlal Nehru ji when he said, while we make a constitution which is sound and as basic as we can, it should also be flexible, and for a period, we should be in a position to change it with relative flexibility. Sir, at that point of a time, it might have sounded very innocently apt, but the irony is, just about a year and a half after the Constitution was adopted in 1950, on the 18th of August 1951, the first draconian amendment was made to the Constitution, sir, and that too to Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution, wherein freedom of expression, which was guaranteed under this article, was actually curtailed and curbed. So this move was bitterly opposed by Shri Shyama Prasad Mukherjee ji when he said, "You are treating this constitution as a scrap of paper." Sir, a preamble was not spared. Many of my colleagues had actually spoken about it. When the words socialist and secular was introduced into a preamble, and Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji had